you will essentially be on your own. If you delay until the storm arrives, you will be on your own. Monitor weather forecasts and make sure you know your emergency plan and your hurricane supply kits are prepared. It is not too late. Get your home and businesses storm ready now. Do not wait. I can't encourage you enough. Please do not wait. Make sure you have a supply of your medicines and your medical supplies for at least 2 weeks. Gather emergency items, including flashlights, radios, weather radios, batteries, water, non-perishable packaged and canned foods, and of course the non-electric can opener. Take pictures of your valuables and secure your documents if you have the need to evacuate. Please continue to stay alert. Visit hcfl.gov/stay safe and monitor local news outlets as well as Hillsborough County social channels at Hillsborough FL. As we say in Hillsborough County, the safest way through a bad weather is together. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Thank you for your time, and now I'd like to invite County Administrator Bonnie Wise to share a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Doherty. Good morning. My name is Bonnie Wise, and I'm the Hillsborough County Administrator. As Chief and Tim said, we are continuing to closely monitor Tropical Storm Helene. The storm is forecast to be a major hurricane and as it approaches Florida, and we are taking it very seriously. There remains uncertainty as to the storm's forecast, but we are working to make sure everyone is prepared for what will likely be a major hurricane making landfall in Florida with a threat of extreme storm surge in our region. In anticipation of the storm, all Hillsborough County offices and facilities will be closed on Thursday, September 26th for regular operations to allow staff to focus on the emergency response to Tropical Storm Helene. Additionally, all recreation centers will be closed today. Neighborhood parks, athletic complexes, and the new Tampa Performing Arts Center will remain open today. Conservation parks, preserves, and trails will close by 3 p.m. today. As Chief said, there is still time to prepare. Hillsborough County's Disaster Preparedness Guide provides valuable information about our shelters and more. It is available via hcfl.gov/stay safe in both English and Spanish and contains comprehensive information on how to prepare for any hazard. Residents also should register for HCFL Alert, Hillsborough County's official public notification system, for emergency alerts and other vital information. You can choose to receive messages by email, phone, and text in both English and Spanish. Go to hcfl.gov/HCFL Alert to register. I also want to share an important phone number. Our main information line for the storm is 833-427-8676, or more easily, 833-HC-STORM. Again, 833-HC-STORM. Please write the number down. Should you lose digital access, it is the best way to access the latest information. There are many preparations involved when a storm is coming our way. Everything from making sure our generators and vehicles have fuel to staging heavy equipment across the county for removing debris and other post-storm work. The county has 5,000 employees, and we are working throughout the year to make sure they know their role when activated for an emergency like Tropical Storm Helene. We identify the greatest needs and assign employees to those needs regardless of their regular duties. We also continue to work extensively with partner agencies, including the National Weather Service, TECO, the City of Tampa, Water Management District, HART, and many others. We'll get through this together, and residents should listen to the instructions of governments, local agencies, and other trusted, verified sources. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Board of County Commissioners Chair Ken Hagan to say a few words.
Thank you, Bonnie, and good morning, everyone. I'm Commissioner Ken Hagan, and first I want to thank Chief Doherty, Director Dudley, County Administrator Wise, all of Hillsborough County employees and our partners, including those behind me here today, who are making sure that our residents and businesses are ready for the storm. Hillsborough County is better prepared because of their work, and it is very much appreciated. As a longtime member of the board, I've been involved in many activations, and I'm comforted by knowing that Hillsborough County Fire Rescue and our Office of Emergency Management are experienced and well prepared. They plan extensively for emergencies, particularly storms. They've been meeting regularly with our partners in local, state, and national levels, and will remain in constant contact during this emergency. Our message to residents is have a plan and be prepared to execute it. And this may involve evacuating. Remember, it is recommended to hide from wind and move away from water to save lives. Storm surge is the biggest threat to life during a storm. If your zone is evacuated, please leave before the storm arrives. We always tell people that evacuating doesn't mean that you need to necessarily go to Georgia or to go across the state. It can mean just going inward 20 miles with family and friends. While we know it isn't easy, it is imperative that we take all necessary steps to protect you and our community. Please continue to follow updated weather forecasts, official government information, and media reports. Thank you, and stay safe. And now I'd like to invite Sheriff Chad Chronister to come forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. I too would be remiss if I didn't thank the leadership that's represented here today and the collaborative effort that comes along with all of our partnerships. This county is in much better shape to handle and manage any type of storm that may present itself because of the leadership that you see represented here today. We are ready. At the Sheriff's Office, we are prepared, we are ready. Are you? This is a time not to panic. This is a time to get prepared. No, there's no need to buy 10 pallets of toilet paper and take every single bottle of water that you see at the store. This isn't a time to panic. Just be prepared. If you're dependent on electricity, make other arrangements. There was no worse feeling than when the deputies against advisement, when the winds reached a certain level, still answered that call for help and went out to rescue an individual that was oxygen dependent when the electric shut off, to rush her to the hospital to no avail. She paid with her life because she didn't make a plan. Those who have to evacuate that are in Zone A, please heed the warning. It's not the wind and the rain if this storm stays on its current trajectory up towards North Florida. It's the storm surge. Now remember, this wind and rain is coming to areas that are already saturated. We know there's going to be a lot of trees falling down. That means loss of electricity. But the flooding and flash flooding is what I'm most concerned with, because more people lose their lives to flooding, to storm surge, than any other event that we have from Mother Nature. Heed the warnings. Again, as Commissioner Hagan stated, even if it's to go to North Tampa, if it's to go somewhere else, no one's saying that you have to move on the other side of the country to keep you and your family safe. But please, there should be no greater priority than the safety of your families and your pets. With all hands on deck at the Sheriff's Office, our large patrol presence will handle the safety and security of your homes, your personal belongings that you work so hard for. We will safeguard those. You take care of your families. After this storm, then we'll be out there with our cut teams to make sure that we work with our members of the county and utilities to get that power restored. But realize that all gets delayed if fire rescue and ourselves are more focused and concentrated on rescuing you. Then we can't restore the water the electricity and what other utilities that need to be restored, because we're doing life-saving operations, search and rescue, instead of focusing our efforts on restoring the power to those who decided to leave. Again, we are prepared. We are ready. It's not a time for panic. It's just a time for you to get you and your families prepared.
Thank you, Sheriff. We'll now hear from Florida Chief Financial Officer, Jimmy Petronis.
Good morning. I tell you, there's counties all over the United States that love to have your sheriff. Sheriff Cronster, thank you for your leadership. Your county is really a model that other counties around the country aspire to have this type of organization and leadership. You understand how to handle a disaster because you have great leadership. I want to touch on the role that we're going to have over the next several days. And one of those is with the bad actors that are going to come in when it comes into the insurance claims process. I tell people all the time, the Good Samaritans show up day 3, day 4. The predators are there hours after the storm. And as they will canvass the neighborhoods, in some cases, they're pre-staged better than the utility companies. But they will want to get in between you and your insurance claim. I can't stress enough, do not sign anything. And I'll repeat that, do not sign anything. If somebody approaches your door and hands you a piece of paper that you've never met before, you're essentially giving them a piece of your insurance claim. And I call them what they are, they're parasites. They are getting a piece of your claim. And then ultimately, when it comes time to settling your claim, this other party is going to have authorization over your claim. So if you err on the side of caution, you do not sign anything. If your first phone call is to your insurance agent, your insurance carrier, or my office at 1-877-MY-FLCFO, there is no way that you can be taken advantage of in any type of way that keeps you from getting what is yours. Let us help you get what you should get. Pay attention to your email, your text messages, your phone calls. I've been in contact with insurance carriers over the last 48 hours. They are proactively reaching out. They are monitoring the storm just like everyone in this room is, and they see the path and they know where the claims are going to be filed. They will be telling you to take those necessary precautionary steps. A lot of them, again, they'll tell you to download their smart app. And what if I can encourage you to do? We're a smartphone society. Take out your phone, and I want you to walk around your house. Today's a perfect day to do it. Walk around the outside of your house, video your house. Point out as you're doing that video that there's no trees on my roof, okay? That my house is in good condition. Do the same thing inside. Your furniture, your TVs, your wall covering, your wardrobe. What you're doing is you're creating a video evidence file of what your house looks like today, the day before the storm makes landfall. Take that video and then email it to yourself. Put it in a virtual place. Now what's going to happen over the next 48 hours, God forbid you have damage, your insurance carrier is going to want to send an adjuster. That's an investigator out to your house to determine what damage existed before and after. Fortunately, you have now got video evidence that shows exactly what your house looked like before the storm made landfall. It makes it very cut and dry. It makes it so much easier to process the claim because you're not being able to get into dispute over what is a covered claim or not. Also tell people any transactions that you conduct at your doorstep in cash, you might as well be setting it on fire. There's no way to ensure that you're going to get reimbursed by your insurance company where you're conducting business paying cash. Your carriers have what are called pre-event contracts. That is a contractor that is signed up with your insurance company to do things like remove trees. So if you call your insurance company, you start the claims process, or they may have already called you to do a pre-event claim. Then when that tree is on your house, they have somebody already lined up to do exactly what you're panicking about, removing trees off your house. Let the insurance company take care of those expenses. Do not allow a high-pressure sales tactic from somebody who's walking your neighborhood trying to get in between you and your cash because they have a crew that's coming down the street. It's not illegal what they're doing, but it is extortion, and they're taking advantage of you because they know that you're vulnerable. They know that you're panicking. They know that you're worried about your single biggest investment you'll ever make in your life, and that's your home. So please, err on the side of caution. I tell people all the time, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. The sheriff will have people everywhere, and there's a deterrence with their teams making their pass through the neighborhoods. But those predators know that. They will be coming to you with things like gas cans, cases of water. They will try to get you to lower your guard because they will want to take advantage of you because they know that you're in a vulnerable place. I appreciate all the resources that we're getting from out of state. We've actually got 6 urban search and rescue teams that are coming from outside of the state of Florida in order to start canvassing the neighborhoods after the storms make landfall. The teams, the task force we have here in Florida, all of them are red. That means they're staying put, just like your good, brave men and women from Tampa and Hillsborough County. They're staying put because they are needed here because you're in an area of concern. The last thing I'll leave with you is when it comes to lithium-ion batteries. This fantastic technology is everywhere. E-bikes, golf carts, scooters, and EVs. With storm surge, the problem that we've discovered with storms in heavily populated areas is salt water and lithium-ion batteries do not mix. They become a cascade effect where they will combust and burn down. So if you've got your e-bike, your scooter in your house, you've received saltwater flooding, but your house survived. You'll need to be careful because if that battery ignites, it could burn down your whole house. So you may survive the storm, but you may not survive the fire afterwards. Please err on the side of caution and make sure if you own any of those devices, they're nowhere near a storm surge area, especially in the Category A area that the emergency management director and the county manager spoke to. So anyway, stay safe. Visit preparefl.com for your own disaster preparedness plan. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. And now we'll hear from Sherry Jacobs with Tampa Electric.
Good morning, Sherry Jacobs with Tampa Electric. Tampa Electric is ready for Helene. We are making final preparations today, and we're bringing in thousands of workers. When the storm passes, we will have 3,500 people on the ground ready to help us restore power as quickly and safely as possible. Those folks are coming from more than 20 states, from as far away as Connecticut and Colorado, to help get the power back on. That said, Helene is a big storm. Customers should prepare for significant extended power outages. We are working hard to get everybody's power back on as quickly and safely after the storm. And please be safe.
All right, thank you. That's a lot of information. That means we have a lot of great folks that's prepared to assist our citizens. 1.5 million, Hillsborough County. We have a unique population here. We have a lot of resources that could potentially impact well beyond Hillsborough County. So if you want to take some time, go back, and you do have time today. We've started the evacuation order, but we want you to work through today, getting your homes prepared, reviewing your emergency plans, and making plans to include your family as well as your pets. You can visit Hillsborough County Stay Safe page, where we have all this information put together for you. And also the same agencies, they have great information pages as well. And so for any additional information, take your time, read through it, but you should have a plan. You should be moving through that plan right now. Again, we want to emphasize this storm is going to move past us. So we can't rush out there because we're going to see delayed impacts with the surge and cresting along the Alafaya and 301. So we've had a lot of water here. We're very saturated, as we heard earlier. Some of you are in the same areas that may receive additional impacts. Your homes are vulnerable right now because you're in the middle of repair. So if you're in a zone A, make sure you're moving out of harm's way. Here in Hillsborough County, we do not want any loss of life due to a surge event when we have every opportunity right now to move out of harm's way. We don't want you to go that far. Just move out of the level A evacuation, our mobile and manufactured homes, our folks in our low-lying areas that's known to prone flooding. We mentioned some. We saw a lot of extensive flooding in the town and country area, South Tampa, along the Alafaya, and the Little Manatee as well. So we know where we get saturated. So take precaution and make sure you're being safe. And now we'll open up for any questions.
Will deputies and officers be going into those Zone A neighborhoods to make sure that residents know they should be evacuating?
Great question. It was, are we going to have enough manpower to go into the evacuation zones? 100%. All our detectives, our school resource deputies, and specialty team deputies have all been assigned and put on different shifts. We will be in those evacuation zones throughout the storm, unless it gets to a point where it becomes unsafe and we have to remove ourselves. Right now, if it stays on its current course, it looks like it's just tropical force winds. We'll still be out there. Unfortunately, Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, I know they're chomping at the bit to go out with the high-profile vehicles. They won't be able to, but we will be there as long as it remains safe for the men and women to do so.
Any additional questions?
Yes, and there is someone who speaks Spanish.
Not at this time. We'll make them available after.
Chief, what is the wind speed will you guys won't leave? Is it 40?
Yes, sir. It's 40-mile-per-hour sustained wind, so that's important to understand. It's sustained winds. If we have gusts, we'll still be responding. But once we reach 40-mile-per-hour sustained winds, fire rescue is unable to respond. As Sheriff Cronster said, our vehicles are higher profile that are exposed to more wind, so 40 miles per hour.
Any additional questions? All right, please stay tuned. We're going to continue working with the National Weather Service with this delayed surge and the delayed cresting of the river. We're still assessing the information on what actions are next immediately after storm going into Friday. Again, we have a lot of great businesses here and organizations. We got the school district getting everything open back up, but we want to be safe about it. We don't want folks moving around before we need to, before the danger has passed. No further questions? Thank you.